So Joe Clark came on the show at the beginning of the year in the North Dakota State game and said the Big 12 will cannibalize itself. It should only have one, maybe two teams in the college football playoff. One. Yeah. Yeah, he said one.
Unless, like, say that BYU and Utah, they play each other last, right? And they're both undefeated. And then Iowa State's undefeated. And CU has one loss. And, like, West Virginia comes out of nowhere. They have two losses, but they make a run in the conference.
Mm-hmm.
Then you're looking at it like, holy shit, man, we could have three teams in. Because you're at large bids then, right? But if everybody beats each other up and there's teams with 2 or 3 losses, there's only one team getting in. And that right now, that one team, dog, is Utah.
Utah is right now.
They are fucking good, dog. Willingham, we went out there last year. They invited Nick out against Florida to open last season. I'd never been there before.
Mm-hmm.
And it was Coach Harding, their O-line coach, is a good dude and recruited the room for years. And Willingham is that shit. And I'm telling you, bro, I don't know how they do it there, but they just roll out 10-win teams every year like it's fucking hotcakes. And they've been doing it forever.
Dang, this is not new.
Forever. Like when they were in the Mountain West, they were just fucking rolling out 11 wins. So they are big. They're mean. Their defense is legit as fuck. They're way better than they were last year. I really think that Utah is probably the class of the Big 12 right now. But BYU just hung 40 on Kansas State. And I think Kansas State's pretty good. And Iowa State's undefeated and BYU's undefeated and West Virginia just fucking hammered Kansas. And Cincinnati's 3-1 and just shut out Houston. And it might turn out that the Big 12 is just a fucking huge conundrum of pretty good teams that are just going to beat the shit out of each other.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to ask you that, because we saw K-State get blown out by BYU. I mean, that's a hell of a win for BYU. I was very surprised, as I'm sure everyone else was. We saw Kansas drop another game, which is, it's interesting because everyone in the preseason thought Kansas was going to be, that team, and now
they still might be, bro. They might go on a fucking run.
Season.
It's really young season.
They lost to a good UNLV team. I know they're a Mountain West team, but Barry Odom's got a special program there. But I wanted to ask you, Joe Klatt obviously came on and said the Big 12 will cannibalize itself. How do you see Colorado in this conference? We're 4 games in. We're about to take on UCF as an 11.5-point underdog. But it seems as though these teams, we saw UCF take on TCU, and then TCU got
Look, he got kicked out of the game. I could see them losing a game or two more and them firing Skip Dykes. And that's, I'm not advocating for that by any means, but you can't look at TCU and think that they're on the right path. I mean, they made the fucking national championship game 2 years ago, and now they're getting 70 points hung on them. So that's the opposite of getting better. Look, Kansas State's always going to be a problem. Kleinman and the way that they do things, even though they lost, I know they're young, they're always going to be a problem. Always, especially CU Kansas State. If you don't know the significance of that game and the rivalry, obviously you just got to the fan base. I would say that if we can get out of the Big 12 rigors here with we have 9 games left, right? 8 games left. If we can go 5-3 in those 8, and we can win 2 of 3, Utah, Kansas State, Oklahoma State at home, I think that puts us at 8-4. Travis wins the Heisman. They go to the Holiday Bowl. Shedeur goes number 1 overall to whoever needs a quarterback. And CU takes the fuck off. Like, if you think they're good now, wait until they start bagging 5-star recruits left and right like the rest of these places. Because there's this narrative, and I heard it so many times at the field the other day on Saturday, that Prime's going to leave at the end of the season. I don't see it. I don't see it either. So many times that he's not going to leave. And it's like the easiest low-hanging fruit for people that just don't want it to continue. Oh, he's going to leave anyway. Be like, what? Why? What would give you that? The donors stop contributing money. What? All I see is new shit everywhere. This place is sold out to the fucking brim. We got 4-star recruits flipping from James Franklin and Penn State and the Big Ten to come to Boulder. Like that kind of shit right there, that makes other recruits look at it and go, whoa, holy shit. And I know this because I was a recruit once. So Colorado's not Jackson State, guys. I mean, Jackson State has limited limited facilities and limited resources to help build. CU has every resource. So just looking at the rest of the schedule, UCF, that's a toss-up. Okay, I don't know what's going to happen this weekend. I can't make a determination on it now. I think Kansas State's a winnable game at home. Going to be a fucking war. Arizona's a good team, but Kansas State beat the shit out of them in Manhattan. I don't know if they're really good or if they're just played good.
Yeah.
Cincinnati's 3-1. Texas Tech is getting better. Utah's the best team in the conference. Kansas is going to be nasty and mean. That game's in Arrowhead. And then you got Oklahoma State at the end of the year, and that could be for a playoff spot for all we fucking know. The conference is going to eat each other alive. So, and that's an opportunity too to beat Oklahoma State, an old Big 8 rival, and create a rivalry with them. That because they don't play they don't play Oklahoma anymore. So that rivalry's out the door. So, look, man, it's set up for success having Kansas State, Oklahoma State, and Utah at home. You got to find a way to win 2 of those 3. You have to.
I agree. I mean, it's going to be tough. These are all going to be battles. Like, there is no cakewalk.
There's no cakewalk on the schedule. And anybody that looks at CU like they're a cakewalk will get fucking ran out of the building.
True. I agree with that too. Absolutely.
I'll tell you what they need to do. They need to go whip UCF's ass. They need to beat Kansas State and they need to beat Arizona. And then you're sitting there at Halloween with Cincinnati going, hey, holy shit, we got a real chance to do something if we can beat Cincinnati and Texas Tech. Then that sets up the Utah game for game day and the number 1 spot in the conference, which is where you want your rival anyway, right? I mean, we consider Utah a rival. I'm not saying I don't consider them a rival, but we have to do something in order for the rivalry to be upheld. You feel me? Mm-hmm. We have to start beating them for something in order for the rivalry to be upheld. That's how it works.
Yeah, no doubt, man. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think what Joel Klatt came on 3 weeks ago literally said it's turning out to be very true now. So we'll see, starting with UCF being 11.5-point dogs. I'm sure I bet you that line's going to get bet up to like 12. Just watch. But
yeah, it'll go up because people want it to happen. So they're going to be like, I'm going to bet this into existence. That's not the way betting works. Trust me, I know.
Yeah, you would be both.
If betting worked like that, we wouldn't be doing this show. I'd be on an island somewhere. Like, I never fucking lose because everything I think just happens.
Yeah, amen, brother. You and me both.